In this Doughnut Macaroon Backpack review, I'm gonna tear this bag apart so you can know whether or not it's the cute, adorable, colorful backpack for your needs. But if it's not your cup of tea, don't you worry. You're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video where I'll give you some alternative suggestions. Let's kick it off by talking about the gist of the Doughnut Macaroon Backpack. Founded and stationed here in Hong Kong, where this channel is also founded and stationed, Doughnut could be the biggest backpack company out of Hong Kong ever. They are crushing the game right now, and not just in Hong Kong and Asia, but now globally. And I feel like they just kind of went into their meeting room and they were like, you know what backpack's really popular? That Fjallraven Kanken one. Like, yeah, let's take that and make it better with better materials and more colors and more affordable. And they're like, meeting's over, let's do it. That's kind of what this backpack is bringing to the table. We've got that old school heritage style bag that the Kanken made so iconic, but kind of brought into the future and, believe it or not, like even cuter than the original Kanken was, which is a hard feat to do. Ultimately, it's a backpack that can also be used as a tote. It's got some really thoughtful features, construction, and materials like real leather trimmings. Couple side pockets, a front pocket, but ultimately it's pretty minimalist. The size is 16 liters, which in my opinion is perfect for an everyday carry. It might be a bit small depending on what you're carrying. As of recording, it comes in 45 different color options, 45. And this version is the Ivory X Light Gray. This is the bag when it's empty, and this is the bag when it's fully packed out on me. For reference, I'm 5'8", and I'm gonna show you exactly what this bag can fit throughout the entire review. Doughnut doesn't specify the weight of the bag on their website, and unfortunately, my little Amazon weigher just ran out of batteries. Terrible timing. But it's advertised as being super lightweight, and if I had to guess, I mean, we're talking a pound, give or take. It's very light. And the bag does come with a warranty, although the wording on the website is very vague, so I'm not quite sure how much coverage you're actually gonna get. And for all that, this bag runs around 65 to 90 USD, depending on the color and materials that they use. The ivory times light gray, this guy right here, is 80 bucks. And if at any point in this review, you're like, holy moly, that backpack is adorable. I need one. I need this cuteness in my life. And you're gonna make a purchase, we do ask that you do so using the first link in the description. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and sometimes we even have discount codes. And using that link also helps to support the Nomad's Nation YouTube channel, which we greatly appreciate. Thank you very much. All right, let's talk about the front of the Doughnut Macaroon Backpack. I always start with the branding. Doughnut's branding is, front and center. A little loud, but I think it works aesthetically with the entire aesthetic of the bag, especially with the edge of the logo having this leather trim. I think it kind of works, and we'll talk about leather with this bag in just a moment. Now let's talk about the materials of the bag. Now we do have these leather trimmings, which are specified on the website, but the actual materials themselves, like these are not specified, and that's probably because the materials will vary depending on the colors. One thing I can say about these materials is they're not gonna be the cream of the crop. This is an $80 bag, and what we'll talk about is I think it's really actually pretty good value for 80 bucks. These materials are nice to the touch, silky smooth, probably some sort of nylon or polyester. Now let's talk about this front compartment right here. Very old school American heritage style. You got the leather buckles, which at this price point, 80 bucks, I'm just gonna say I'm pretty impressed, assuming that it's real leather. It's hard to tell for sure, and it's not quite passing the smell test, but it's got a nice feel to it, and it looks great. Now, when I got the bag, I was like, oh my God, do you really have to undo these buckles every single time that you want to get into this compartment? To which Doughnut says, no, you do not. Clever little feature, so you can unbuckle it from the top as opposed to doing the old school unbuckling method. And then, et voila, we're inside this compartment. I gotta say, for a large bag manufacturing company, Doughnut's really good with these little touches. Adding a nicer, glossier sort of material on the inside just gives a little sense of delight. I'm so lame when I say these things, but it kind of does. There's no additional organization in this pocket. It's got some beef to it, right? It really packs out, and it's a three-dimensional pocket, so it's not gonna take any space from the main compartment. Due to the location of this pocket, I'd recommend putting things that you want quicker access to. So for me, that's gonna be a little protein bar if I get hungry, a keys when I get home, tissues. Normally I throw my glasses in here, but I don't have a glasses holder with me right now, and there's no safe spot for them. So I'm gonna put my glasses to the side for now, see if there's another spot that I can put them. And you see, this is beefy, man. We can fit a lot more stuff in there. To give you a better idea, I got a Bellroy desk caddy tech pouch with me. It's almost the size of my head. And you can see we can literally pop that in there, close it into place. Oh yeah. So it's a very versatile pocket as to what it can fit. Moving on up, we have these tote handles, which are connected with these leather tabs right here, and some really cool hardware. I actually love the look of this hardware. I think it gives the bag kind of I don't know. I just think Doughnut is really good with their aesthetic game. And other things, maybe not their comfort game, about that in just a minute. But love these buckles. And those lead up to the tote handles themselves, which now we're in the middle of the bag, so let's jump into it. Let's talk about the middle of the Doughnut Macaroon Backpack. I'll get back to the tote handles in just a second. Let's talk about the bottom of the bag. You'd think it has kind of like a square-like shape as to where it'll be able to stand by itself, but it doesn't very well. Unfortunately, with that square-like shape, you think that it would. When it's more packed out, it can. Now, notice on either side, we got 2 water bottle pockets, but they're water bottle pockets. And I use the air quotes because they're tight, so the size of water bottle that's gonna fit in these pockets will vary and be quite limited. Case in point, I've got a 17-ounce water bottle from Lark. Very smooth, very thin, very sexy, and what do you know? Fits very nicely. Nice tight fit, a little bit of room to spare. But then I got a water bottle from Columbia. This boy's a 22-ounce, and it's not gonna work. Oh, it kinda worked. If I push it in there, I'm never gonna get it out. But you can see what's happening here. In theory, these pockets can hold water bottles. They just gotta be the right size because the material here is quite limited. There's no elasticity, there's no stretch to it. So if you want this bad boy to carry your water bottle, you gotta make sure it's a very slim one, like this Lark. But the good news is that these pockets can hold other things as well. Like I got a little to-go umbrella, right? A little tripod, living that creator lifestyle. Water bottle on the other side. Now we're talking. Handles. I love a bag that can do 2 things, especially, you know, sometimes you just wanna be in tote mode, which I think works really nicely. There's not too much padding, so it's not like the most super comfortable tote carrying mode experience ever, but it's a smaller bag, so it gets the job done. And then when you want a little bit of a tighter experience, you don't want these handles flopping all over the place, you can go ahead and use this little leather buckle, pop it into place, and the handles are secure. All right, now let's get into the main compartment. Now you can see we got these 2 zippers right here. Nice color, nice leather tab with this little dot right here, this little aluminum dot, which just kind of gives you an extra point of grip. One thing to note though is these are not PU coated zippers, they're not water resistant, and they're also not name brand, they're not YKK. Opening the bag is pretty easy, and now you can see we got some thoughtful organization, or is it? On the front side, we have 1, 2 zippered pockets and this little pocket right here, and a Velcro pocket yonder. Let's pack it out. So these would be great locations for things that are smaller, that you don't want to get lost, right? So I like to put wires maybe in a pocket like this, keep them in their place, don't get too wiry. I'm gonna throw a backup battery in this zipper pocket here, perfect size. For this Velcro pocket, it's the perfect location for a Kindle, and it can still Velcro shut. All those pockets are great, except this one. I'm not as crazy about this pocket. It works, I'm gonna use it for my cables here, but it's not very tight, it's super loosey-goosey. Whatever you put in there has a pretty high tendency or chance of falling out. But overall, it's a nice little admin section to sort of help organize your smaller tidbits of gear. Now flipping over on the back side, we have 2 side pockets and a laptop/tablet sleeve. Now, as to where the outside water bottle pockets didn't have any expansion, these inside potential water bottle pockets do. Actually, okay, cool. These can also be great for water bottles or for something like an umbrella. So if you don't mind carrying your water bottle internally, then these pockets will be good solutions for that. Let's talk laptop compartment. It says that it can fit up to a 14-inch, so my 13 should fit in no problemo. Oh yeah, that's nice. We've got a little bit of padding for protection. A very, very thin. Unfortunately, there's no false bottom. A false bottom is where they lift the bottom of the laptop case. Therefore, if you drop your bag, the laptop is less likely to get damaged. No false bottom here. A little bit of padding on the back though, so we're good on the front and the back. But one thing to note is the location. Notice with the shape of this bag, we've got this top hood sort of coming over, right? It's taking up a lot of territory, and your laptop is like deep in there. So if this bag is packed out, it's gonna make it significantly more difficult to access your laptop. Sometimes bags will have like another zipper right here, so you can just grab your laptop more easily. I think that would have been an amazing feature in a bag like this, but unfortunately, you gotta kind of do one of those. Pack out the main compartment. See, this thing already fell out. I told you, this pocket is not gonna be fun. I'm literally not gonna put anything in you. Pocket. All right, I got a backup tote, notebook, my big old beefy Sony headphones, my Bellroy desk caddy, and that's probably gonna be all that a 16-liter can fit. Remember, it's not a super big pack. It's meant for your daily essentials. Pop a water bottle on the outside, and that's it. And I gotta say, even with this bag fully packed out, it's still absolutely adorable. How do you stay so cute? And you might be thinking to yourself, wow, this dude is like super nerdy with backpacks. He's talking a lot about that whole laptop thing. I never would have thought about that. What a nerd, am I right? And it's true, I am a backpack nerd, and I'm such a backpack nerd that I don't know if you know, but I'm actually building my own backpack. And I'm documenting the entire thing here on the Nomads Nation YouTube channel. So if you want to get a behind the scenes look as to what it takes to build a game-changing backpack from the ground up, and you want to help vote on some of the key features of the bag that I'm building, you're going to want to check out the second description in the link below. That'll tell you more about the Building a Backpack project, the brand that I'm building, and how you can get involved. I hope to see you in your inbox. back to this guy. Okay, let's talk about the back of the Doughnut Macaroon Backpack. First up, let's talk about comfort, because I think that one of the negatives of this bag is the fact that it's going to be lacking in comfort, which is not a bad thing. It makes sense at the price point. It's 80 bucks. This is not a really expensive bag. They don't have all this money to invest into a 3D back panel and like EVA foam on the shoulder straps, right? I mean, it's just meant to be kind of basic and simple. And that's nice because it keeps the lightweightness. But unfortunately, that means there's no ventilation on the back panel. So this kind of just gonna plaster to your back, especially on those hot summer sweaty days. A little bit of padding though for extra comfort, so it's not terrible. Shoulder straps aren't too bad. We got a decent amount of padding, some cuts in here for additional ventilation. But here's where things get weird. You can see right now that you're in backpack mode, right? But it's tight. I'm a smaller dude, I'm 5'8", and like this, they're not fitting very well. The reason is, Doughnut's sort of giving you the option to go into tote mode. They're like, hey, when you're in tote mode and you wanna clean this bag up, you can wear the shoulder straps like this. Nice and tidy, stowed away. But when you wanna go into backpack mode, you unbuckle these bad boys, get the slack to a point that you are comfortable with, and now you're in cozy backpack mode. Now, a couple of notes. The buckle is super secure, so it's gonna stay in the position that you want the bag to be in. And it's double secure by like this nylon webbing that they're using. It's got like a roughness to it, so it's not super smooth and silky, so it's like clinging to this buckle quite well. But unless you're wearing the backpack fully loose, right? Like you're like straight up chilling with your bag, like this, which is the way that I hate wearing bags. I like my bags nice and tight. But if you wear it like me a little bit tighter, you're gonna always have this little excess dangle sort of flopping all over the place. And if you watch my reviews, you know that I hate dangle. Just kind of gets in the way, just kind of irritating. So there's no way to avoid that unless, like I said, you do fully loosen it up when it's just maybe, I don't know, it depends how you like to wear your bag. Let me know in the comments below. Like, are you a super loose backpack wearer? Or you like me, you like it nice and tight and pressed against the body? Let me know in the comments below. And that's it. Let's talk about the overall pros and the cons of the Doughnut Macaroon Backpack. Overall pro number one, it just looks great. Overall pro number two, I kind of like the construction design and materials at the price point. And overall pro number three is the fact that it can be carried as both a backpack and a tote. But it's not all rainbows and unicorns over here. I got some cons as well, and here they are. Overall con number one is the excess dangle when being worn in backpack mode. Con number two is the limited access to the laptop compartment. And con number three is that the external water bottle holders are limited in the girthiness of the water bottles they can handle. But let's say you're like Aaron, pros, cons, I've weighed them out. The pros are on top, or are they on bottom? I don't know how scales work. But regardless, let's say that you want to get one of these bags or learn more information. Remember, we do ask that you do so using the first link in the description. That link makes sure that you get the best price, and sometimes we even have discount codes. And that link also helps to support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel, which we greatly appreciate. Thank you very much. But let's say you are not quite sold. You stuck around for some of those alternative suggestions that I promised you. Here they are. Alternative suggestion number one is going to be the Fjallraven Kanken. This is that classic, iconic Swedish backpack that took the world by storm. And while I don't necessarily think it's worth the price that they asked for, it might be worth checking out. Maybe you just want that classic Swedish backpack that took the world by storm. And if that's the case, then check out the description below and you'll find links to our full Fjallraven Kanken review. Alternative recommendation number two is going to be the Bellroy Tokyo Totepack. This is great for you if you got a bit more of a budget and you're still looking for an awesome tote backpack fusion, but that's made with a bit more love and kind of craftsmanship and has better materials. Bellroy makes some of the best bags in the game, and you can learn more about the Bellroy Tokyo Totepack by navigating on down to the description below and finding a link to our full review. And alternative recommendation number three is going to be the Day Owl Backpack. Yet again, another retro tote backpack fusion. Day Owl's bags are minimalist and some of the most eco-friendly in the world. And to learn more about that bag, just go ahead and watch this video right here. If you have any questions about the Doughnut Macaroon, please let me know in the comments below. I personally answer every single one myself. My name's Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.